It's not your partner's job to lead you. It's not their job to hold you together. That's your responsibility. When both people show up with that kind of self-accountability, that's when real partnership begins. Not a rescue mission, but a collaboration of two whole people who choose each other, not need each other. A man who practices self-leadership is not perfect, but he is aware. He doesn't blame others for his emotions. He doesn't depend on a partner for his sense of identity. He shows up consistently because he knows how to lead himself even through fear, confusion, or uncertainty. That kind of man creates a relationship that feels safe, not just emotionally, but energetically. His presence isn't chaotic, it's stable, thoughtful, and anchored. That stability is not only attractive, it's necessary. In today's fast-moving, emotionally charged world, relationships can easily be derailed by insecurity, poor communication, or unresolved trauma. But the man who has taken time to develop inner leadership brings something rare to the table: emotional safety. His partner doesn't have to guess who he is from one day to the next. She knows he will take ownership, that he will grow through mistakes, and that his word means something. Self-leadership also teaches patience. A man who leads himself knows that rushing into a relationship to avoid loneliness is a mistake. He's not driven by external pressure. He knows that love is not a prize to be won, but a responsibility to be carried. And he's willing to wait, to grow, and to build himself into the kind of man who can handle that responsibility with grace and strength. In the end, partnership is not the beginning of the journey, it's the continuation of it. A man doesn't become complete in love. He brings his completeness to love. And that begins with self-leadership, with doing the work before the relationship, with mastering yourself, so that when you finally meet someone worthy of walking beside you, you don't lead them from a place of fear or ego. You lead with empathy, with presence, and with purpose. Waiting is passive. Building is powerful. When it comes to love, too many people spend their time waiting for the right person to come along, waiting for life to feel complete, waiting for someone to notice them. But love is not something you sit around hoping for. It's something you prepare for. You don't wait for love, you build for it. The man who lives alone without a girlfriend isn't just passing time. If he's intentional, he's building. He's building his mindset, his health, his emotional intelligence, his stability, his sense of purpose. He's not sitting in a holding pattern, hoping to be rescued by a romantic connection. He's creating the kind of life that someone else can walk into and feel safe, inspired, and valued. Love doesn't magically fix what we refuse to work on. If you're disorganized, anxious, insecure, or emotionally unavailable, a relationship won't fix that. It'll magnify it. That's why building is essential. When a man takes the time to build himself, when he works on his communication skills, his finances, his personal integrity, his emotional regulation, he's not just improving himself for his own sake, he's preparing to offer something solid to someone else. This is a shift from a reactive mindset to a proactive one. Instead of thinking, I'll become a better man when I find someone, he says, I'll become a better man so that when I find someone, I can give them the best version of me. That's real maturity. That's real preparation, and that's what creates relationships that last. Not instant chemistry or good looks, but the foundation of a life that's been deliberately shaped. Building means developing habits that serve a future relationship even if you're not in one yet. It means becoming emotionally honest so that when you meet someone you're not playing game. It means building discipline so that you can be trusted. It means learning how to listen, how to apologize, how to show up consistently. Because love doesn't thrive on intensity, it thrives on consistency. It also means building your own peace. If you need someone else to fill the silence in your life, you're not ready for love. Love shouldn't feel like relief from your loneliness. It should feel like a beautiful addition to a life you already enjoy. A man who knows how to be alone, who has filled his life with purpose, community, and growth, isn't desperate for love. He's prepared for it. And that difference changes everything. When you build for love instead of waiting for it, you stop settling. You're no longer willing to accept someone just because you're afraid of being alone. You have standards, not because you're picky, but because you've worked too hard to become the man you are now to risk it all on someone who doesn't match your effort or values. You understand that the right partner doesn't complete you, they complement you, and you've made space in your life for that kind of connection. This kind of mindset also allows you to be patient. You're not rushing to find someone because your life is already meaningful. You're not controlled by external pressure or the fear of missing out. You trust that when the time is right, the relationship will come, not because you waited, but because you built something worth sharing. So don't wait for love. Don't pause your growth or sit in silence hoping for the right person to appear. Build. build your heart, your mind, your mission. Build your habits, your health, your sense of self. Because one day, love will walk into your life and it will recognize all the work you did. It will see the foundation you've laid. And it will feel not like a rescue, but a reward. The love that finds you after you've done the work will be different. It won't feel like a lifeline or a temporary high. It won't come to fix you, rescue you, or fill some aching void. It will arrive like an answer to a question you finally learned how to ask with honesty. The love that finds you after you've built yourself will thank you, not with words, but with the way it feels when you're in it. It will thank you for the peace you've created, for the maturity you've cultivated, and for the person you chose to become before it ever showed up. Most people chase love without preparing for it. They want connection, but avoid self-reflection. They want deep emotional intimacy, but aren't willing to face their own emotional patterns. They want loyalty, but haven't learned how to be loyal to their own value. Love doesn't flourish in that kind of soil. Love needs more than hope. It needs a foundation. And when you've taken the time to lay that foundation through discipline, healing, and growth, you attract a kind of love that doesn't just feel good, it is good. The love that finds you when you're ready won't be drawn to the mask you wear or the persona you project. It will be drawn to your realness. It will be drawn to your quiet confidence, the strength you earned in solitude, the clarity you gained through self-discipline. It will appreciate that you don't need love to define you because you've already defined yourself. It will feel safe in your presence because you're not seeking to consume or escape through love. You're offering to contribute, to build, to grow together. A lot of relationships crumble not because people don't care, but because they come into them unprepared. They come in needing something they never gave themselves: validation, purpose, self-worth. But when you've taken time to know yourself, to build a life that's fulfilling and anchored, you don't enter a relationship from a place of neediness. You enter it from a place of abundance. You don't say, complete me, you say, join me. That shift changes everything. You stop looking for love to fix your loneliness and start inviting love into a life already rich with meaning. You stop demanding someone else make you feel worthy and start showing up already knowing your worth. And when love finds you in that state, it breathes easier. There's no pressure to perform, no fear of being left for not filling some invisible hole. There's space for authenticity, mutual respect, and real intimacy. Love that finds you after you've done the work will be more than romance. It will be a partnership rooted in shared value. It will be laughter that doesn't feel forced, silence that isn't awkward, support that doesn't come with strings attached. It will be two people choosing each other, not out of fear, but out of alignment, and it will thank you every day, subtly, powerfully, for the foundation you laid before it even appeared. This is why the waiting season matters. This is why the solitude is sacred. This is why building in the quiet moments is not a waste of time, it's preparation. You are not behind. You are not alone in vain. You are doing the most important work there is, becoming the kind of person love can trust with its future. So when love finds you, and it will thank you for not rushing. It will thank you for healing instead of hiding, for growing instead of grasping, for being the kind of man who made space for something real. And when it arrives, you'll know it's not luck. You'll know it's not an accident. You'll know it's what you built for all along. Society is loud. It tells you who you should be, where you should be by now, and what milestones you should have reached. It whispers that something is wrong with you if you're not in a relationship, if you're not posting happy couple photos, if you haven't checked the boxes that everyone else seems to be racing to complete. Here's the truth. Your purpose doesn't obey society's pressure. It doesn't follow the timeline others expect of you. It doesn't bend to opinions, social trends, or external approval. It moves at its own pace, quiet, focused, and deeply personal. A man who lives alone without a girlfriend is often judged by the world. People ask questions, they make assumptions, they project their own fears of loneliness onto him. But what they don't see is the purpose being forged in that solitude. What they don't understand is that while some chase relationships to feel complete, others pursue their purpose so they can bring completeness into everything they do, including love, when it arrives. When you choose to follow your own path instead of conforming to the path others lay out for you, you become free. Not careless, not detached, free. Free to learn who you are without the noise. Free to choose growth over appearances. Be free to spend your energy building something meaningful instead of constantly trying to keep up with what society says success should look like. And that freedom creates something far more powerful than any timeline can offer: fulfillment. The world will try to convince you that you're falling behind, that you need to be married by a certain age, have kids by a certain age, live a certain lifestyle, or show proof of happiness through public validation. But purpose doesn't care about public validation. Purpose isn't in a rush. It knows that what you're building in the shadows will shine when the time is right. It knows that the seeds you plant in patience grow roots that last longer than anything born out of pressure. A man who resists the urge to follow the crowd is not lost. He's listening. Listening to his intuition, listening to the voice inside that tells him to wait until it's real, to love only when it's honest, and to grow into the kind of man who doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. That kind of man becomes unshakable. He's not driven by comparison. He's not motivated by fear. He's led by purpose. When you live this way, relationships, when they come, are different. You're not choosing someone because you feel behind. You're not trying to fill a void or check a box. You're choosing them because they align with where you're going.